Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity. About.
Who's this guy with the mustache? He
Oh
must be
my.
he must be a 20-something. They all have mustaches.
That's true, they
It's
do.
the trend anymore.
Yes.
See, it's not all about flashy on-air personalities. We bring the behind-the-scenes people in, right?
Yeah, it takes a team.
When you need a sea
Does.
filler, yeah.
So Tim, who I call Tom Hanks lookalike, is here filling in for John, who is off. He's at Knoebels today.
Knoebels.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a
So
great part.
Tim is a photojournalist. He's a photographer, and you work with Nikki in the morning
I
usually.
do, yeah. We have a great
Lucky
time.
you.
Yeah, we
I
have a great
know.
time every day.
It's awesome.
Tim is now shooting Wham Cam with me too. This guy
I am his partner
all
in
the way-
crime.
He does it
Yes.
all.
He does it all. And
TV
he's got a
Tim.
great mustache.
TV
Thank
Tim.
you.
TV Tim.
I
TV
like that.
Tim, as Darren calls me,
Yes.
TV Tim.
So if you're not watching this live, you're listening to the podcast. A lot of folks listen. Just picture a handsome man with a mustache, and you can get a picture
Tom
of
Hanks
all-
with a mustache.
Tom Hanks with a
Exactly.
mustache.
There you go.
Yes.
You know what? Let me say quick. The second day I ever worked here, the first thing you ever said to me was, Tim, you look like a robust Tom Hanks. First thing
There
you
you
ever
go.
said to me. And he's been trying to make the nickname stick, and I think you're still the only
I'm
one
the only
that...
one who calls him
Yes.
Hanks. Nikki, will you start calling him Hanks?
I call him TV Tim.
Yeah, she's already got a nickname.
But Hanks
Tim
is a
is
great
good.
nickname, isn't it, Hanks?
TV Tim is a great nickname.
All right, TV
But
Tim.
I will say, the Tom Hanks thing, you are not the only one that's... I've had people in the past think that, so I guess there must be
Oh,
some
there you
truth
go.
to
There's
it.
something
Yeah.
there.
There you
Again,
go.
I've
Well,
never seen it.
Because
but-
you're a new guy here.
Oh.
Do you know about the conundrum here or no?
No, what's the... Oh, was it when the stuff got thrown out? Yeah,
Yeah.
I do know about that.
Well, no, not that.
Oh.
But these are the questions that have been emailed to us. I crumble them up in a ball and throw them in. It's been overflowing in recent weeks. We've gotten a lot of questions.
Okay.
So the new ones, one day I just stuck them in a Boscov's bag,
Do you
And
shop
I-
there a lot?
and I didn't crumble them up because there was no room. So now we have newer questions in the Boscov's bag, slightly older ones. You get to pick whichever one you want. These are uncrumpled, these are crumpled, but they're both unseen by our eyes.
Does Boscov's know about this yet?
No, we're trying to get them as a
Yeah. We
sponsor.
need to find out.
Keep it up in my work. So I
How
get to
about
pick...
you? Does
You get to
Yeah.
Boscov-
Like, do you want the bag? Do you want the OG?
As
or
much
the
as
new?
I'd like to be a trendsetter, I'm old school. Did I knock the mic over? No, I'm already breaking stuff.
Already breaking stuff.
No, I
Mic
noticed your
drop.
microphone is different than the other ones. Is
Is
that
it?
always the case, or it's
I have
because
no
you're the new
idea.
guy?
I have no idea.
Oh, the stand is different, yeah.
I think it's always the case. There's one that's a little different.
Do you have something against Boscov's? Like if that's
Oh, I love Boscov's.
so you're just not avoiding that.
Me and my grandfather go there all the time. Love Boscov's.
True story. He is older grandpa. How old?
He's 88.
And you take him to Boscov's all the time.
At least once, twice a month. Yeah.
He
loves
only
it
wants to
there.
go to. What if you said, Gramps, let's go to Walmart today?
We've gone to Walmart before, but he likes the Boscov's. you
Gramps,
know?
let's go to Target.
I don't think he's ever been to Target, so. But Walmart's is number 2, but the number 1's, but he loves Boscov's, so that's his
There you
style.
go.
Gramps, let's go to what's that place in Clark Summit, Mindy? The real trendy one there that everybody goes to. The young ladies.
I don't know.
Which one? What are you talking about?
All right, forget it. I was
Okay,
just trying
let's
to-
not get off track here. Okay, this is from Gordy in Waverly.
Gordy!
Waverly, New York.
Oh!
Whoa.
See, watch anywhere on streaming.
Have any of the news anchors ever had to do a story on one of their coworkers or family members?
Ooh,
Whoa.
interesting.
Whoa. So, I have not, as far as I know.
I have not.
Maybe remotely, Mindy? Something with Nikki's thinking. Look, the mouth is
Well,
open.
technically, you talk about your stuff after the weekend. I mean, such
That's
sort of
true.
you do, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but she means like
But
a
like
story.
doing a news story.
No, I
I
don't.
mean, that has
No.
happened before here. I
We
don't know
just
if
hope
I
we-
should mention it, but
So
That's right. you know what?
actually, early in the pandemic, right when it happened, my sister got COVID. My sister had COVID. She was like one of the first people, and I did a story with her.
Oh, there you go.
I did a Zoom interview, and my sister lives in Canada, but somehow the bosses liked that idea, and I did a Zoom interview with my sister because no one really was getting COVID yet.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, I
Huh.
did that.
And I was just thinking, after my mom died, my brother, who is 15 years younger than me, he tried to break a Guinness Book of World Records for amount of people showering outside together.
That's awesome.
And he had this whole elaborate setup in the parking lot of a store. and plumbers had, yards of conduit, and I think he broke the record.
Wow.
And it was raising money to remember my mom, and it was
that's
shower.
nice.
That's awesome.
And we cover that as a news story.
Oh, very cool.
So is he still in the Guinness Book of World's Record for the largest group shower ever? Maybe, but I think it was broken since then.
Probably.
So
if
we
it's
did cover
That's
that.
awesome.
We
Years
did
ago.
cover that as a news item. That was pretty cool.
cool.
And they were clothed.
They were close.
Okay,
Okay,
they-
good.
Yeah,
Gotta
they-
add that in.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, so you're next,
I'm
Joe.
next. I'm going for the
Going
Boscov.
Boscov.
Boscovs.
Nice.
I mean, you pull up into Clark Summit right at the Four Corners there, and there's a trendy clothing store. Come on. How could you not know? You live there.
There was one, but it's closed.
Talbot's is what I'm thinking of. Is that it?
Talbot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Would your
okay.
grandpa go to Talbot's or no? He's not going there.
That's
What
a
do you
women's store.
think? What do you think?
He's not going to go to Talbot's?
No, he's not going to Talbot's.
And it's
He's-
more for
that's-
the more mature woman. It's not the younger.
Oh, okay. I thought
Usually
it was
Talbot's is not
the mature
don't-
woman with
Right.
money, right?
Wouldn't
That's
you
what-
say that
I would
Talbot's is not a
say,
young store?
yeah, yeah.
That's not forever
If he was
21.
still shopping for my grandma, maybe, but not now. No,
Not
that's
now.
not his store.
You're not taking him to Talbot's.
I don't think he'd want to go to Talbot's.
Chris Ross, what is barometric pressure and how does it affect the weather? Oh my goodness. He said, I love the pod. Great work, Chris.
Oh,
Does he mean barometric pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, Chris, I just want to let you know, I teach meteorology. This would be a 3-week session. I can't do this all in the podcast here and not put everyone to sleep. Okay? Just so you guys know.
I mean, I'm due for a nap.
So I'm going to give you the 30-second version. All right. Picture yourself at the bottom of a pool. Oh, like you're closing your eyes. You can feel the weight of the water on your ears.
It's
can't
heavy.
you? Because you're under all that water. Well, we are at the bottom of an ocean of air. That goes 50 miles up in the atmosphere. So that exerts pressure on anything down here at the surface where we live. That is barometric pressure. And it's equal to about 14.7 pounds per square inch. This little square inch. 15 pounds of atmosphere pushing in on all of us right now. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Great,
The
yeah.
reason you're not crushed by the weight of the atmosphere is because you are not a sealed container. There's air inside your body also pushing out, so you're not crushed.
Okay.
So meteorologists weigh the air because when the air is lighter, it goes up and that produces precipitation. And when the air is heavier, it's usually generally moving down.
Oh, I
and
didn't know that.
we notice these subtle changes in air pressure and they help us to discern weather patterns. Everything is based on pressure. Isobars, highs, lows, it's all about pressure. But that's the bottom line right there.
Good to know.
I have a song running through my head now.
Give me, a little Queen
Under
and
Pressure.
David Bowie.
Under pressure.
Now there's a song,
Doesn't get old.
and no one can say I don't like that.
Yeah.
I know, it's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
It's a good one.
Would your Gramps like that?
Um,
No, because I have a theory.
he's more of a Sinatra guy.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
I had this theory that
I
Nikki
read
went-
this one last time.
Oh, really?
Get
Nikki
rid of
went,
it.
went
Oh,
old
you're
school.
picking a new one. I have this theory that there's only 3 or 4 bands that everybody likes, whether you're 10 or 88. And the Beatles are one of them.
Well, according not to that guy that we met.
Well, that one guy. No, I'm saying most people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Queen is another one.
That's true.
Queen
Everybody
is
loves
Young
Queen.
people like
love
Queen.
Queen.
We
and
are
old
the
people.
champions.
Yeah.
Who's
like,
the third?
that's-
You said there's 3. Who would be a third?
I don't know.
Yeah, those are 2.
It's a
Okay,
rotate. It's a rotating chair.
Maybe Fleetwood Mac. That's another one. The Eagles. No one hates the Eagles.
No, I have a lot of people who hate the
Really?
Eagles. who say that.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
I like the Eagles.
What about wait?
Oh, no, should I read the question?
Yeah, read the question.
Okay. The feisty
I was
goat
going to say Taylor
Hazelton
Swift.
wants to know, name the saddest death scene on TV or in the movies.
Wait, the saddest what?
Death scene.
Death?
Yeah.
Death.
Death. The saddest death
Oh my
scene.
goodness. Wait,
We're
I don't
getting
know if
heavy.
you guys know this. He is our film expert.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
This
Perfect
guy
question
knows
for you.
everything in the film industry from the 1930s on.
Yes.
Whatever
Even
he
earlier.
says is going to be right.
I have my
God.
saddest death
It's your
scene.
question. You got to do it.
My saddest one is Grey's Anatomy when Derek Shepherd died. McDreamy.
You like that one?
Oh, that was
I
heartbreaking.
I've only seen the early Grays. I can't comment for.
Yeah, I haven't
Heartbreaking.
seen it either.
Okay, there's one.
But we trust you. We trust your assessment.
What do
It
you
was so
got?
sad.
I got to think about that. That's
No,
a
you
tough one.
shouldn't have
Tim,
to.
you
can't. You have to.
No,
There's
you
no
don't.
time to
I
think.
know. There's a.
This
oh
is
God. There's
this
so
is why the
many.
universe
Okay.
put you in this chair today.
I'm just trying.
While
I'm trying,
you're thinking,
I know,
I'll say
yeah.
that, obviously for a lot of people, the Titanic
Jack,
Yeah, when Jack
Because there was
sinks into
room.
the
That comes
water.
to mind.
There was room
There
on
was
the board.
room on
There
the
was
board.
room on the board.
He could have made it.
He could have made it.
Well, I think she kind of,
She pushed him off?
not pushed him, but she was narcissistic.
No, I don't think so. I think she loved
Here
him.
we go.
It was true
She
love.
could have made room for him. She wanted it all for herself.
No, I don't think so.
What about when JR died?
Didn't
No.
know he got shot.
Yeah.
He didn't die,
He didn't
though.
die. He lived.
Oh, he lived?
Yeah.
That was the cliffhanger. He got shot. You didn't know if he
Oh,
died.
I thought he
or not.
died.
No.
All right, how about then? That was a joke on, but the serious one I always say is the Gladiator, Maximus.
Oh, Maximus. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
He's
I
thinking
haven't
about his
either.
wife, his kids, and the wheat, the waving field of wheat, and the sun as it's setting, and his whole life is passing before him. Oh, so good.
I have two.
All right, here we go.
One is from a movie that I know none of you have ever
Well,
heard
don't
of.
even say it.
But it's the one that got me the most.
Okay.
The other
Make sure
one
you
you've
talk
all-
into your mic. Just
Yeah,
so you
all
know.
right, I got you. Yeah. The first one is from a movie. My cousins introduced me to movies from like all over the world, and they introduced me to a film from Japan called Grave of the Fireflies.
No one's gonna know.
Yeah, no one knows that.
But
Mr.
I'm being
Obs-
honest. We're the Mr. Curiosity.
Yeah, but
You wanna
now
be
you're
curious.
Mr. Obscure.
But all right. Hold on there, old timer. But that's my honest one. I won't get into it, but there's a scene in that movie that's very upsetting. It's a great movie if no one's seen it. But the other one, Avengers Endgame, Iron Man. That really got me too. That was one of
Okay.
the saddest. Yeah.
What about in War of the Worlds? Every time the laser zapped someone and they turned to
I mean,
dust?
that's more scary than sad. But
There was thousands
oh,
there.
when E.T. died, that was sad.
Oh,
but
that
then he
was
came
sad.
back.
But then he came back.
That
yeah.
was sad.
But that was hard to
Joe
watch
has
as a
never
kid.
seen E.T.,
I don't want-
which
I
is a
don't like-
fabulous
Why?
movie.
I
It's
don't-
one of
I
the
only-
best films ever made.
I
It
don't
really
like
is. Thank you,
any-
Tim. Thank you.
I don't like any sci-fi movie that's cute or the aliens are friendly.
It's
Aw.
well, it's not really cute, and the
E.T..
aliens are not that friendly necessarily.
God.
I want death and destruction. Godzilla.
There is death and
I mean, we
destruction.
do.
Aliens.
I mean, we do love aliens in the
Yeah.
thing. I know that.
Yeah, I
so
love that
that's
too.
one of ours. Yeah.
Mindy, you're up.
I'm trying to remember. Do you guys remember the movie where there's this little boy and little girl, and the little boy dies of a bee sting?
Oh, My Girl.
My Girl.
Oh,
See,
Oh,
he
that
knows
was
everything. This
sad,
guy, Hanks
too.
knows everything. I'm
that
telling
was
you.
so sad.
Oh wait, I do have another one. This is a childhood one. Mufasa from The Lion King.
Oh,
That was another one.
yes.
Yeah, that's the.
yeah.
Honestly,
What about-
most Bambi's mom. That was another
What
one.
about Nemo's
Bambi's
father or
mom.
Nemo's mother?
The dad didn't die. The mom died.
The mom
Yeah.
died. That was
Bambi's
sad.
mom was sad.
Bambi's mom was really sad,
really-
and
yeah.
that's a kids
That's a
movie.
kids
Yeah.
movie.
Man, that's a lot for a kid to
Honestly,
take.
most Disney movies have a death. Yeah,
I
they're all pretty
know.
sad.
Because you're Tom Hanks.
That was too
Tom
much
Hanks
to
died
take,
in the movie?
actually.
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving
yeah.
Private Ryan.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Oh, this is a funny one, and you know what? Too bad John's not here, actually, because he would be the person to really say. This is from Jocelyn, and in Kingsley, and she asked, question for everyone: do your kids ever get embarrassed or annoyed that everyone knows you and stops to talk to you?
I would say, do the kids ever not get in
I
there,
know.
right?
I was gonna say.
It's everywhere, right?
So the funny thing is, John's daughter Celia has a great quote that a lot of times she will say, and this is going to happen at Knoebels today, as
Yeah,
John's
the
there.
poor guy.
The poor
'Cause
guy.
He sticks
Yeah.
out.
He
he's
sticks
tall,
out,
he's
yeah.
unique
He can't
looking.
go anywhere.
His daughter Celia always says, he's not that big of a deal. It is so funny.
I can picture her
keeping him in
saying that
check.
too.
She's keeping him in check. Yeah. Yeah, my kids get, well, not only kids, but also loved ones. I mean, does Darren ever get annoyed that you get recognized everywhere?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's like you can see it's very annoying.
yeah.
My wife gets annoyed. Even when you're president of the United States, remember Obama's daughters? They were embarrassed by
Yeah.
him. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
even I imagine rock stars. When you're a kid, you see your parents as just I don't know
As who they are.
Yeah, these things.
you
No
see
one
his
should
parents.
like them, right?
Right.
That's just the
Right.
way life is set up. It's the circle of life.
That was a
so.
good
That's
question.
why I like being behind the camera. I don't have those problems.
You want to have that
Tim's
issue, yeah.
turn.
But now, Tim.
I did get recognized once though.
Really?
From the podcast.
Yeah, I was at I think I was at the Price Chopper in Dunmore, and someone was like, "You're the guy from the pod," and I was like,
Oh my
Oh
God.
my
I
gosh.
was like, "How did you like?"
What about
I
that
don't know.
80-year-old woman who has a crush on you?
Anne
She
Marie
was in
from
her
Center
60s,
Moral.
I
She
think.
was
She might be watching
70s.
right
Oh,
now.
she was 70. Hi, Anne-Marie.
Hi, Anne-Marie.
Hi,
Hi,
Anne-Marie. Hi. I
There's
guess
your-
that's gonna be my thing. from
There's
here
your
on out,
fantasy
yeah.
man right there.
Tim does have a girlfriend
I
right now,
do.
just so you know.
Yeah. Sorry, Anne Marie. I'm sure you're a lovely woman. Oh, you know what? No, I'll go for the boss.
Between now and the end of the podcast, could you do a Tom Hanks impersonation at one point?
No, we're not doing
Are you
that.
serious?
Not, what am I going to say? Hi, I'm
Bosom
Tom Hanks.
buddies.
No.
He didn't watch Bosom. You didn't watch Bosom Buddies, right? Because it's too old.
I've seen episodes. My mom
Okay.
loves Bosom
Oh, I
Buddies.
did. I
so-
loved it too. It was a good show.
I've never. I mean,
And that was his first thing, right? Because
Yeah.
he was an unknown actor at that
That's right.
time.
wasn't
Shut
Splash
up, I
before
asked the
that?
question.
Or no,
I thought Splash was after Bosom Buddies.
Mr.
I'll have to
Obscure.
look
We're
it
going
up.
to change this to Mr. Obscure.
This is a really good one. My friend Big Jim wants to know if the studio lost power and you were all locked in, who would be the leader and who would be eaten first?
Who would be the leader and who would be eaten first? So two different qualifications?
Yeah.
But first of all, my friend Big Jim.
Big
I mean,
Jim.
that's,
So-
you gotta love that.
So
Thanks,
the whole
Big
place
Jim.
shuts down. There's no generator. We're locked in here. There's no light.
Who all is in here? Like, is it everybody?
let's see.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it
because
Is
it's
APAL here?
Who
you
would
know.
be the leader and who would be eaten first? I guess we're stuck in here forever.
Okay.
You look
Is
delicious.
it just us? Is
Tim
it just the
looks
four of
delicious.
us?
Look
why?
at
Because
him.
I have the most meat on my bones.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
look
why?
delicious.
Yeah.
If it's the four of us, who would be the leader?
No, we're all in here.
Or
Everybody on the
everybody
shift
at this-
now. The
I
door's
think we
shut,
would work
the power's
together.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point where all the food is gone.
I think John and Bonnie would be the leaders.
Yeah. Yeah, they might be.
I feel like John. Yeah, at least John.
Well, who do
Yeah.
you think will be dead first?
You.
Are you serious? Because I annoy everybody?
Because it's.
Well, you've lived the longest, so
Oh.
you should sacrifice
No, I'm not.
yourself.
You've had a
Be
good
serious,
life.
though.
You've had a good
Who
run.
would be eaten first?
I
who
wouldn't
would
eat
be-
you guys. I'm sorry. Like, we
No.
would run out of water.
I'd rather starve.
We would run out of water
I don't
first.
understand the desperation of humanity when you're in certain circumstances. You
I
should
guess.
be eating the foam off the walls. And then if Tim dies and he's over there, he looks juicy, I'd love to eat his leg.
I mean, if I died, sure, but
Sure?
yeah, that's the thing. It's
Look at these
that's
thighs.
so morbid.
Did you ever
They're
see that?
delicious.
Did you ever
Thanks.
see that movie of the plane? Was it called Alive?
Oh, with the soccer team, you mean?
I don't know if it was a soccer team, but it was a
What?
plane that crashed in the mountains
Yeah.
in the snow.
Society
Right.
of the Snow wasn't
I thought it
that?
was
He
called
knows
Alive.
all movies. This guy knows
There
all
was
movies.
one that was like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was recent.
yeah, and they had to eat the people. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's going to happen. It
Yeah.
has happened, and it will happen in the future. This is just something that's inevitable. People
No,
will have to come to a certain circumstance, and they eat
we
each
should
other.
eat cockroaches before we eat each other.
There's
I don't know.
It's over.
Or we can eat. We
I'm
can
gonna
eat.
starve
We
before
can
I
have the
eat
ants
that.
out in the
I know.
backyard.
All right, this is from Jennifer Berger. How do you eat? This is Mindy's question. It's got to be.
Uh-oh.
How do you eat your scrapple? Syrup,
Scrapple?
ketchup, or sriracha? I've never had scrapple in my life. I have am grossed out
Wait.
by it.
What kind of ham and egger are you if you've never had scrapple?
I don't know why it's never
Is
been
it-
a family thing. It's no worse or better than a hot dog. I get
I
that.
feel like I know what scrapple is. Is just like scrambled eggs with meat. and
No,
everything. What
it's
is it?
What is scrapple?
Scrapple is like pig.
It's
the
like
bad,
little meat parts
Yeah,
blended
it's-
together.
It's
the-
meat.
I feel like I know
It's
what
not
this
eggs.
is. Okay.
There's a lot of scrapple in
I
Berks
can't
Yeah, but it's
County.
like
You're
it's like,
from Dunmore and you haven't had
It's
it?
like
I feel like I know what it is. I
no,
just,
but isn't it the
yeah.
worst parts of a pig that
Yeah.
are left over, and then it's
It's like a hot dog fried on the griddle.
yeah, it's probably eyeballs and
Okay,
ears.
so it's a traditional American breakfast food originating from the Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah.
It's a savory mush
mush, savory mush. Here we
made
go.
of pork scraps, trimmings, and offal, which is like, OFFAL. It's
Yeah, but
like
go deeper now. What
the
parts?
head, heart, and liver.
Oh, so there it is.
That are boiled,
So-
minced, and mixed with cornmeal,
I
flour,
feel
and
like
spices to form a sliceable loaf. So there's a picture for you, Tim.
Big in Berks County, which is where I'm from.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like spam, kind
Scott
of.
Kind
Schaefer
of.
loves scrapple.
Yeah, he does.
I tried. People have had it. I
He's
tried.
from-
Do you like it?
I don't.
Don't
I
you
don't
see
either.
why Tim now looks more appealing to eat than that pig head?
You're gonna eat chomp on Tim's leg
his
before
leg
you eat the
more than a
scrapple.
pig head. Yes, if you're dead.
A pig
Is this
liver?
episode going to be called the Let's Eat Tim episode? Yeah.
I hope not.
I'm just saying, this is what people eat.
I have had scrapple once, and I didn't like it that much,
Wasn't
but
it?
people love it.
I'd give it a try. People like it.
Yeah.
at
I've
least,
seen
yeah.
people eat it with ketchup. I've seen people eat it with syrup too.
Yeah,
I will just say, because I'm known as the picky eater.
yeah.
People eat disgusting things, and I don't, and I'm proud of that.
That's true. You
and
eat
that
pretty good
includes
things.
lobster, which is disgusting. Shrimp,
I'm with you on
disgusting.
that one. I'm with you on that.
I
Red
love
meat.
lobster and
when
shrimp.
people eat red meat, you see the they want the marbled stuff. That's all
That's fat.
It's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
I like
They
the
eat
stuff.
livers, brains. People are gross with what they eat.
What about
I
steak?
limit
Are
myself
To turkey and chicken.
to chicken muscle and turkey muscle. That's it. That's the most gross
pierogies.
thing.
And pierogies,
Well, there's
yeah. And
potatoes.
candy. And
I'm not
candy.
eating animal parts that are just.
And V8. You love your V8.
I love.
Could have had a V8.
And pigs are beautiful creatures, and I don't want to eat them.
They are, yeah.
It's hard for me.
There, I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Jim from East Stroudsburg wants to know, is it possible to measure the size of an individual cloud? Sometimes you see a jet passing in front of it and it looks like a speck. Just wondering how big the cloud actually is.
I'm gonna add this too: clams and oysters. You're eating.
Oh, I love clams.
You're
Those are
eating
great.
an entire mollusk. You're eating its reproductive tract, its digestive system, its brain.
It doesn't know that though.
But
No.
that's disgusting.
Clams
I
are great.
agree.
Oysters are.
I'm not eating
That's
that.
I don't
Stuff
like
is
oysters,
sick.
but I love clams. Clams are
people.
great.
But the oysters, you don't even taste them. You just swallow them.
To the gooey, it's
Yeah.
too salty for me.
Yeah.
But I love a clam. Clams are great.
So of course we can measure the size of a cloud easily, but they're so varied in their size and shape, and some stretch out for miles, and some are just little blobs as big as this room. But yeah, you can measure a cloud very easily.
Huh. Is it my turn now?
Yep.
It is.
How do you measure the cloud?
Mindy, you like clams then?
I do. Yeah, I do like clams.
Snails?
Okay, this is
People are
also
gross.
Escargot.
This is oh yeah, I've had escargot. I felt bad eating snails.
I don't
know
like
why.
escargot.
Yeah.
It tasted gross.
This is also Jocelyn and Kingsley, so we're getting another one from her.
Okay.
Thanks, Josh.
I don't know if I should ask this or not. I don't know.
Where's the bell?
It's a question
Where's
for
the
the
bell? Give her
guys.
the bell.
So
Give her
Nikki,
the
you and
bell.
I are out.
Okay.
So
what
this-
is
I think
it?
it's fine.
This is a question from a woman. She says, "Do you pee outside?" I had a
wait a minute.
conversation with my brother, and he says he always pees in his yard. Is this a thing? Do a lot of guys do this? So
I mean, when you
enlighten
gotta
us.
go, you gotta
Listen,
go.
if you're going to be made uncomfortable by this, turn this right off right now, because I'm speaking for all men, and we keep it honest and pure here. We love peeing outside.
Oh my gosh.
If I have
is that?
I live in the country, there's nobody around. If I'm 10 feet from my bathroom, I will go out of my way to pee outside. It's just what we do, okay?
Yeah.
There's
Oh
nothing
my
wrong
gosh.
with it.
You know,
it's more enjoyable. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either.
Guys
We all do it.
guys do like peeing outside.
I
in the
will go out of my
woods, yeah.
way to pee outside.
Well, it's so funny because you guys probably know I worked in Bangor, Maine,
Right.
It's very rural. It's a small town. There's a lot of rural folks, and all the guys there always pee outside. It's
yeah,
just a thing.
let's just get it out
when
there.
But so then Michael and I moved to Portland, Maine, and then we lived in the city, and we had friends that came and visited us from Bangor,
And they didn't understand?
and they went to our backyard, which was abutted next to another house,
Okay.
and we're just peeing outside. I'm
And
like,
they-
you guys,
they-
there's a bathroom. And they're like, we always do this. I'm like, dude, you can't do that now.
Not
here.
here.
You just have to trust me. It's what we do.
Okay.
And any guy who doesn't, he's lying to himself. So my son Luke was in kindergarten, his first week in school.
Oh, no.
True story. Now I live in the country. When I was raising my young boys, when they had to pee, we're playing catch in the yard, they would just pee anywhere.
It's
the
really not
country.
fair, but anyway.
So we get a call from his teacher. Oh no! And
I
the
know
poor
where this
kid,
is.
he was embarrassed. She said, "Your son was on the playground urinating on the playground,
That's amazing.
on the tree in the playground."
At least it was on a tree.
That must have been a great. That must have been a great parent-teacher conference.
I first said, "So what?" And then I said, "I'll have a talk."
You said so what?
And then I said, "I'll have a talk with them. You don't do it at school."
That
He just thought that was the normal way of life.
That's
Right.
good.
Well, that's how you taught him.
That's
so,
adorable.
That's how he learned.
Yeah. Is he going to be mad that you told that story?
Nah, he's 26 now. He doesn't care.
doesn't
I hope
care.
I will say one thing, just to one thing you said. Any guy that says they've never
They're
done it
lying.
is lying.
They're-
Every guy,
It's Tim's turn.
every guy's done it at least once. I'll say
Not
that.
Doug, no, but wants to do it.
I don't know about
Prefers
wants, but
it.
has done
Prefers it. Would you say prefers it?
No, that's too strong of a word. But every guy's done it at least once. I'll
Not
say
done
that.
it.
But
Prefers
Nikki,
it.
do you agree with me that it's just not fair?
It is not
I would
fair.
like to have this
I know.
opportunity.
Yeah.
What
I
would,
don't know how
what
you-
would they do if we just kind of...
I know. What
Listen,
would
like
they
they
do?
said on
squat.
Seinfeld, I don't know how you girls walk around with those things. What do you-
We don't know either.
Okay, this is.
Uh-oh, here's the bell, buddy.
No, it's not. It's just Why is your podcast called Mr. Curiosity even when you include women on the panel?
So, no, that's a great question. Because I started this podcast almost 10 years ago, and it was me interviewing people, and I was the curious one about their life. And I interviewed you and a lot of people here at WNEP.
Not Tim, though.
No.
No. So it used to be just a one-on-one conversation. I was curious about that person. But then it grew and expanded to this thing now. And should we change the name? I don't know.
I don't think
We should
so.
call it the Curiosities. How about that?
The Curiosity.
Well, we talk about the Curiosity Crew, but I'm
Curiosity
just
Crew.
worried that then people won't be able to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. So now we're stuck in
We're
this
stuck.
forever.
Yeah, I want them to be able to
I
find
don't
it.
think we should change it.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's
No, because
That's what it is.
it goes back to its roots.
Yeah.
That's
So
how
that's
it started.
how. But that's a great question. All right, one more before we go.
Yeah,
Is this the last
it's you.
one?
Yeah.
It's you,
Could this
yep.
be the best one ever?
I'm hoping.
Let's hope so.
This is from Tim. Why don't women pee outside? No, I'm just
That would have
That is the best one ever.
in a positive way. He says, "What do you think is the most famous alum at WNEP?" I think it could be these. He has a suggestion:
Oh.
Dorothy Lucy, Bill O'Reilly, and Charlotte McBride. I'm going to have to
Oh.
say it's Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah,
Probably.
most people know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the most famous
Yeah.
person who ever worked here that is now known globally,
Everywhere.
maybe even.
Famous author and
Yeah.
talk
Yeah,
show
people know who he
host.
is.
Yeah.
So Bill O'Reilly once worked here at WNEP, and I'd say he is the most famous alum.
But Charlotte,
of all
now
time.
very famous as well. She's doing
Charlotte's
national
DC, right?
news.
Tom Clark, you know. He's
Who
famous.
is-
He's famous to me.
Yeah.
And who is Dorothy Lucy?
I don't know.
No idea who that
I don't know
is.
either.
Oh, we're going to look into that one. Dorothy Lucie.
Huh.
All right. Hey, we're going to do it
Interesting.
again next week. If you're watching out there, Mr. Bill O'Reilly, thanks.
Yeah.
And keep listening. We're going to do it again next week.
Maybe he
Questions?
listens to the pod.
Brownbag at WNAP.com. Brownbag at WNAP.com. Get your questions in. Peace out. Tim, say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
That's it? Jumping jacks?
No.
Nothing?
Some
That's
salute?
it.
I try to keep it real.
All right. All
Your
right.
legs look terrific.
Thank you.
And juicy.
In what way?
And tasty. See you guys.